Welcome to day number 22. My name is Nathan Ziegler, the upper school principal at Hope Academy. Today we've got a special guest, Mr. Sims. Mr. Sims is our 6th grade language arts and history teacher. Today he's going to be teaching us how to juggle.
Special guest with Mr. Z.
All right, Mr. Ziegler, that sounds good. Yep, I'll get right on that. Bye-bye. Oh, hey, Hope Academy. I just got off the phone with Mr. Ziegler and we were talking about how I could share with you some of what I've been doing in my little bit of free time as we have been stuck indoors. So for this, I have been practicing my juggling skills. Whatever you practice juggling with, you're probably going to drop them a good bit. So tennis balls would probably work the best, and maybe not in your apartment, but maybe come down to the lobby of your apartment building, or if you have a house, just don't annoy whoever's downstairs below you. I've come down to my lobby, and here's where I can practice a little bit. So when learning to juggle, I think there's basically 3 steps that you can boil it down to. So the first one would be to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart. Step 2 is to move slowly to juggling with the 3 tennis balls. So I would start with 1, just kind of tossing it up and down about at eye level. Get used to catching that without even thinking about it. And then you would move to juggling with 2. But notice that there's this circular kind of motion to the tossing pattern so that the balls never cross into each other. And then when you're ready to move into adding in that 3rd one, and then get used to just kind of the motion and the pattern of tossing up 1 as the other one's coming down. And then I think the 3rd thing to remember would be patience, because it takes a lot of patience as you build in this skill. Here goes. Whew, that was a lot of takes.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. Looks like I'm going to need some practice myself. It's time for some dad jokes. A friend of mine bought me a watch that stopped working. I haven't told him yet. It's never the right time. Why should you never believe a clock? Because it's usually secondhand information. Why did the kid throw the clock out the window? Because he wanted to see time fly. Yesterday's brain teaser was to try to take 10 nails and stack them on top of 1. I'm going to show you how right now. First, lay down 1 nail. Then cross the nails every other one. Stack another nail on top of those. Then pinch the ends and set it on top of the nail. There you have it, 10 nails stacked on 1. For today's brain teaser, you're going to need some toothpicks. Take 12 toothpicks and make a tic-tac-toe board out of them. The challenge is trying to move only 3 toothpicks to end up with exactly 3 congruent squares. For this one, take 7 toothpicks and arrange them as follows. Can you move only 4 toothpicks to end up with exactly 2 congruent squares? We're going to go back to Mr. Sims for today's word of encouragement.
I thought I would share a verse that has been ministering to me over these days as we are going through some different times. So Habakkuk chapter 3 is where this verse comes from, and it says in Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 18, "Yet I will rejoice in the Lord, I will take joy in the God of my salvation." What stands out to me about this verse is that just before it, Habakkuk points out all the things that are going wrong and could go wrong in his world and in his town, in his society, in his country. He says, though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food, the flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls. All of those things are just all the things that indicate that their society and their town and their well-being is in a good place. And he's saying is if we don't have any of those things, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. Habakkuk 3:18. And so I want us to draw encouragement from that, and I draw encouragement from that in knowing that even when everything in my life could be not looking good and not going well, I can still rejoice in the God of my salvation.
Thank you, Mr. Sims, for that wonderful reminder from Habakkuk that even if things aren't going the way that we want them to, we can rejoice in God. Have a wonderful day, everyone.